All right, so as you all know, Chuck Schumer, or as I call him, Chuck the Cuck, he caved hard to the Republicans in this government shutdown fight. He basically greenlit their dirty CR, dirty continuing resolution, which allows Trump and Elon to consolidate power. And this was like the one moment Democrats had to fight back against Republicans. And the reason is they needed some Democratic support. They needed Democratic support to get through cloture, right? You needed 60 votes. And so this is where Chuck Schumer could have put up a fight, could have said, look, you need our votes to get it done. If the government shuts down, the government shuts down. You guys are destroying everything anyway, so here, we'll give you exactly what you want. Go ahead. We'll let everybody struggle, and they'll know it's because of Elon and because of Trump. So he had an opportunity to say, here are our conditions. Elon needs to immediately stop what he's doing. Immediately. And funding for Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid is off the table. You're not cutting that at all, right? These could have been your conditions. Elon's got to stop. World's richest man, hacking around in the back of our government systems, destroying stuff, freezing funding, etc. He has to stop. And beyond that, zero cuts to Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, and then we'll get this thing through. And in that standoff, you would have won. Even if they said, hey, for 3 months, we're going to let the government be shut down. All the polls showed the public was blaming Elon and Trump. They would blame Elon and Trump. And all you have to do is go out there and say, this is the Elon and Trump shutdown. They refuse to talk to us. They refuse to negotiate with us even though they need us. That's crazy. They shut the government down. That's all you have to do. Now, the reason why this was like their one opportunity to fight is because now, from now on, the Republicans are going to use budget reconciliation to get stuff through. You know what that means? 51 votes. 51 votes. So for these big budget packages that they're going to do, they're going to have the votes as long as they can hold their own caucus. And so it was a colossal, colossal failure from Chuck Schumer. And everybody notices. When I say even Hakeem Jeffries is like, why'd you do this? Hakeem Jeffries, who's never made a good decision in his life. He's a horrible leader. Not inspiring at all. Doesn't know how to fight. Even he knew this was the way to go. Every Democrat in the House, literally except one, did the right thing on this and voted the right way. Whereas Chuck the Cuck did not. He let the dirty CR get through. Okay. So Jon Stewart has some thoughts on this. And ladies and gentlemen, this is this man at his best. He freaks it. Let's dive in.
But fear not, because Democrats put on the back foot, finally have an opportunity to stand up and show their dispirited party they still have the principle and the backbone to face down this wannabe tyrant.
Republicans need at least 8 Senate Democrats to reach the 60 required votes, or the government's going to shut down at midnight tomorrow night.
Oh, shit. It is on like Donkey Kong. It turns out the Byzantine Senate rules have presented a golden opportunity to the minority party because the budget the Republicans are proposing is a non-starter.
This is a terrible CR.
A bill that is designed to hurt the American people.
It would cut by nearly 50% funding for medical research.
To take away nursing home care from millions of our seniors.
There's more than $1 billion of cuts to veteran benefits.
I'm voting no.
I will be a hard no.
Vote no, hell no.
I am even more hell no.
Can you be more hell no? Is that like, hell no? H-E double hockey stick? By the way, like, who's this dude fooling? You know that salty language isn't you, Merkley? Dollar in the swear jar. It's H-E double hockey sticks from now on. But this abomination of a budget shall not pass. Because, Senator Schumer, please remind the people what is necessary.
Republicans do not have the votes in the Senate.
You don't have the votes. You need congressional approval because you don't have the votes. Because the filibuster requires... I only saw the play once. You see, Republicans, your little evil budget plan might have worked if you hadn't forgotten that one Senator Schumer is Charles in charge of the Democratic Party. I'm afraid your diabolical scheme has been foiled.
Senate Democratic leader Chuck Schumer set off a firestorm heading into this weekend when he changed course and announced he would vote to move forward on a Republican-backed funding bill.
Turns out you had the votes. Republicans had the votes. What the happened?
I will vote to keep the government open. I believe it is my job to make the best choice for the country, to minimize the harms to the American people.
But you had said it was terrible. And wait a minute. Oh shit, I know what's going on here. All right, I know what's going on here. Yeah, you had me going, Chucky. You probably got a little something out of this, didn't you? Old C-shoe. You wouldn't have given up that powerful leverage on the budget for nothing. My guess is Chucky got some cheese.
Did Schumer get anything from Republicans in exchange for those dumb votes?
He did not.
So the theory that's most convincing to me right now as to why he did it is, remember, Chuck Schumer is basically the senator from Wall Street. Kirsten Gillibrand, the senator from Wall Street. These are the two New York Democratic senators. And so my guess is he got some phone calls from some very powerful CEOs on Wall Street, and these people said to him, look, we have tremendous volatility in the market. Trump's putting the tariffs on, taking the tariffs off, putting them on, taking them off. The market is plummeting. We're shedding jobs. And any more volatility, and the whole bubble could burst, the whole house of cards could collapse. So we need you, even though you don't want to, we need you to go ahead and vote for cloture, which allows basically the Republican dirty CR to pass. That's my guess. That's my guess, is that he listened to basically his Wall Street owners who give him a tremendous amount of money and help him with all of his fundraising for himself and all the corporate Democrats. And look, it's just a perfect example of one of the many problems with the old guard. They have zero spine. They're not fighters. They don't have like a strong ideology. And then on top of that, who are you really representing, Chuck? Who are you representing? You're representing Wall Street. That's who you're representing. By the way, right now, he's in the midst of a humiliation tour. He canceled his book events. Remember? He had these book events he was going to do, these book signings. And he wrote a book on anti-Semitism, but he knew, oh my God, I see the backlash. If I go do my book tour now, I'm going to not be able to get a word out. I'm going to be protested to the high heavens. And so he postponed his book tour, but now he went on The View, he went on a bunch of other places, and he keeps humiliating himself, bro. He keeps saying the saddest things you've ever heard. He literally repeated the old Biden line of like, oh God, I think that after Trump is gone, the fever's going to break. I think when Trump hits 40% approval rating, Republicans will be willing to work with us. They'll get more reasonable. And it's like, how many times have we been down this road and that didn't fucking happen? Wake up.
Senator Schumer, no disrespect, but you are a disgrace to Jewish stereotypes about financial negotiations. That's just... I thought the whole point of us is that's what we do. But you're out there. How much is it? $5. How about I give you $7? Like, what are you doing? And for those of you who may have felt like this was a total capitulation, Senator Schumer just felt like this wasn't the moment for Democrats to press their case because Trump is still too strong.
When he went below 40% in the polls, the Republican legislators started working with us. He was at 51. He's now at 48. We're going to keep at it until he goes below 40.
This is such a classic. Like, you believe in nothing. You believe in nothing. I don't care if my opponent's approval rating is 3 or 98. I'm going to stand on business 10 toes down and tell you exactly what the fuck I believe and tell you why I think my vision is objectively superior to their vision. This is what you do when you believe in nothing. And also, by the way, total fucking misunderstanding of the situation. Just assuming, oh, bro, the Teflon Don is being really Teflon right now. Like, his numbers are plummeting by the second. Elon's are tanking by the second. The decisions they're making are horrifically unpopular. Think about the cutting flight safety officials, for example, slashing pediatric cancer research, gutting Medicaid, all these things. These are such clear opportunities to destroy them, and you don't have it in you.
When it happens, I am hopeful that our Republican colleagues will resume working with us.
You're going to keep at it. Keep at it, keep at it, keep at it. At what? This was it. This was the it that you would have been keeping at. The keeping of the it. It's not the keeping of the it. That's the issue. It's what the it. Don't you have to start it to keep at it? If this wasn't it, then what is it if this not be it?
It's so crazy to be like, bro, we have to wait for a different time to make our argument. Like, what does that even mean? Republicans make their argument all day, every day, regardless of the circumstance. Like, the idea is, bro, we can't fight right now because of reasons and stuff and things, but, like, we're going to keep at it at some point. Like, Make your argument, stand up for something, but that's the point. He actually doesn't really believe in anything, and that's how he ended up here.
But apparently the grand plan is Dems keep fecklessly complaining until the 48 approval comes down to 40, which is a plan, but it's forgetting one crucial piece of information in Schumer's popularity calculation.
Devastating, cascading poll numbers for Democrats. Only 27% of voters have a positive view of the party, the lowest favorability rating in the history of NBC's polling.
You're at 27%. You've got to get Trump to lose 8 points of popularity just for you to get to the point where you're 13 points below him. Your approval is only 7 points above, where it turns red and goes into low power mode.
And why is it that low? We know because they've done further polling, and basically what people say is they don't fucking fight. They don't believe in anything. They don't fight. So we don't like them. If they don't even believe in themselves, why should I believe in them? That's what people are saying. And of course, he gets it. He exacerbates the problem. He thinks he's playing, 7-dimensional chess, and he exacerbates the problem and drives those numbers even lower for Democrats.
Maybe you're not a numbers learner. Maybe a visual demonstration for you here. Let me meet you where you live. All right, here we go. I'm going to do this. This is 48% approval. This is them. This is you. This is you. 20 Dan. Jesus. So I am not. Perhaps he has insider knowledge of a quiet, smoldering Republican amenability to compromise. Perhaps underneath that hard shell of Republican intransigence is a soft, nougaty center of responsible legislative leadership waiting to be freed. Bargains! Driven in the hallowed yet marbled halls of power. Or maybe someplace mustier.
I talked to them. One of the places I told them to go in the gym, when you're on that bike in your shorts, panting away next to a Republican, a lot of the inhibitions come off.
What the fuck? This is like remember when he said, in the wake of the election, people are so aroused. They're so aroused. I've never seen them so aroused. Remember that? Oh my God. What is wrong with this guy, bro? By the way, he went on MSNBC last night and Chris Hayes obliterated him without even trying. They made him sit there and watch a compilation of other Democratic politicians shiv him and say, "Oh, you don't know what the fuck he's doing, bro. He's fucking up hard. I would never give it away the way he gave it away." Nancy Pelosi, you had to watch Nancy Pelosi shit on him. So he literally is on a humiliation tour right now.
That's your plan. I'm going to dangle my balls out of my shorts and at the gym. They're going to lose all their inhibitions on the equipment. Actually, Chuck, I would like to work with you on Medicaid reform. And also, I never told anybody this, but I once jerked a guy off in a park. This elliptical, I just lose my inhibitions. and I would probably be just a skosh more receptive to Schumer's theory of gym-based negotiation strategies if it had worked the last time.
We talk to our Republican colleagues all the time. I talk to them all in the gym. When you're a 60-year-old on a bike panting in your shorts, the inhibitions sort of fall away.
He said the same fucking thing in 2019. How'd that go, Chuck? How did it go since then?
I'm not here to posture shame. But for a guy who seems to be spending most of his life in the gym, a little less chunky talk, a little more core. Second of all, in the gym, they're only being agreeable with you because they want you to leave them alone. In the gym. On the stationary bike. Oh, sure, Chuck, yeah, I'm definitely going to do that. But I have to tell you something. Pedaling really hard and not going anywhere, it's a great metaphor for the Democratic Party right now. Really. Also, ball sweat. But for some reason, there is a persistent fiction within the Democratic Party that if they just hang out with Republicans in the gym or wait out Trump's popularity or give them concessions on a continuing resolution they said would harm the country, that Republicans will finally see the light. And Democrats will be rewarded with productive bipartisanship. Or, as they put it,
this fever will break. All this excitement about Donald Trump, it's going to break.
So it is like a cult. The fever will break.
Is this the night the fever will break?
A chance to break the fever.
I believe at some point soon
the fever will break.
I think you're going to see the fever break.
President Obama saying, quote, "Now I believe when we're successful in this election that the fever may break."
If someone's been running a fever since the aughts, that's not a fever. That is their default resting temperature. This fiction that you are inventing, this idea that somehow, they'll come to their senses, it allows Democrats to keep thinking that Republicans are actually the ones in the precarious position.
They've got a very narrow margin in the House, a bit bigger margin in the Senate, and their goals are internally conflicting.
They don't have the numbers.
Republicans need Democratic votes.
It's going to be clear they can't pass anything without Democratic help.
Congress won't be able to keep the lights on, let alone pass anything of substance, without the buy-in and blessing of House Democrats and Hakeem Jeffries.
It's a great message, except Republicans have gotten everything through. Every crazy appointment. The guy who wrote the children's book on Russiagate runs the FBI. Tulsi Gabbard, RFK, Weekend Fox and Friends guy. They all sail through. Literally, the only one that has failed so far is picking a Chucky doll that runs on cocaine and Viagra for Attorney General. And that's just because the Republicans personally hated him. Probably for something he did at the gym. Look, you don't understand. These Republicans are committed to a plan born of ideological 50 to 60-year project to remake the United States, and classifying it as a fever excuses you from having to propose an alternative, coherent vision and allows you to pretend that this is just an issue of messaging and not merit. But boy, are Dems busy fixing the messaging. Ambitious Democrats have a new game plan. They're going to yak it up about sports and go on more podcasts or whatever the hell this is.
Hi, I'm Congresswoman Sarah Jacobs. Get ready with me while I explain to you how House Republicans are trying to give away your health care to give tax breaks to big corporations. Last week, Republicans introduced their budget resolution.
Oh, my God. I saw Hassan talk about this the other day, and he's 100% right. Like, what these people need to understand, what these Democrats need to understand, is that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, gives a single flying fuck about you. You're not their friend. You're not an influencer. You're not a celebrity. You're not somebody they can't wait to, watch every step you take, every burp you burp, every fart you fart. They don't fucking care. You have to make them, if you want people to care about you and be interested in what you're doing, you have to make them care. And the way you do that is to give them a reason to care. And that reason would have to be, here's my ideology, here's my philosophy, here are the policies I believe in, here's what I'm going to fight for, here are my values. I'm going to prove to you that I hold these near and dear and they are core to who I am. I'm going to fight for those things. And then, maybe if you're lucky, some people will actually be like, oh, I love that person. And you could try to do the I'm relatable bro thing. But if you don't actually stand for anything and believe in anything and fight for it, nobody's going to, why should they care? When you try to be all fucking relatable and do a viral TikTok video or some shit, nobody gives a fuck. And it comes across as immensely inauthentic. Whereas on the right, look, they all believe in the dumb shit that they say. Their whole ideology is fuck the trans people, fuck the immigrants, and trigger the liberals. And that's at the core of everything they say, everything they believe. And they've convinced so many people in this country the real problem with your life and why you're struggling and why you're not happy is because of these scapegoats that I've designated. And so they drive that narrative home with every single breath of every single day, and they've gotten, genuine followers as a result of that. Whereas there is no counter-democratic narrative, man. We've talked about this, but what does the counter-narrative need to be? The problem, it's not the trans people, it's not the immigrants, it's not the liberals, it's the billionaires, it's the oligarchs, it's the robber barons, it's the legalized bribery and corruption in the system, which is why it never represents you and is always given tax breaks to corporations and to billionaires. So it's, God, they just misread the situation. He's not done yet either. He's not done yet. Wait for this.
I'm sorry. I'm having difficulty focusing on what you're saying because I'm terrified that you're a hard yellow light away from getting ready with Dan Crenshaw. Obviously, that is not meant in any way to diminish Congressman Crenshaw's service and how he was wounded in Afghanistan, making a Get Ready With Me video. Is that tonight? Comedy's legal again, right? Perhaps nothing is as emblematic of this mismatch between the parties than the Democrats' latest viral offering.
Choose your character.
Now, I understand Democrats would want to showcase that some of their members have not had hip replacement surgery yet. And I hope you understand whatever that last one was. But I'm fighting you while taking a shit. Well, just understand this. Whatever this is no match for the game Republicans are playing.
That's right. God, he's so good. Holy shit, he's so good, man. John, we need you to run in 2028, bro. We need you to run in 2028. And look, I think the field in some ways is starting to shape up. Like, Tim Walz is very clearly interested in running, and he's been showing a lot of positive signs, making a lot of great arguments, has a lot of great instincts that are not being tampered by the Kamala campaign like they were. He's not being hid in the basement anymore, doing the town halls, etc. So it's already shaping up, but man, oh, he's the one, dog. Holy shit. Every word of this was brilliant. Every word of this was spot on. And he gets it. He gets it. It's that simple. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.